All right, let's listen in. This is Pittsylvania County, Virginia. Substation was confirmed by Duke Energy to be the cause of a power outage in Guilford County, North Carolina as well. So we've got substantial power outages, emergency responses due to rising floodwaters, and all this stuff happening in Guilford County. This is exactly what I was reading all about an hour ago when we started the show. Okay? So it's happening. So 2 minutes ago, transmission on the Guilford County scanner was respond to the area of I-840 mile marker 18. There is a vehicle in the floodwater. Don't know if any occupants are inside. So things are getting kind of wild between Winston-Salem and Greensboro. Holy smokes, I'm King 128. Thank you for the super chat. This is keeping up with the scanners is a whole new element to this that we're going to try to really dive into. Jared has always done a really good job like feeding me like updates on it, but like we're kind of taking it to the next level now. If you can see here, Yalba in real time is listening to 20 scanner feeds, okay, and it's transcribing them in real time, picking out like the notable transmissions and you know, kind of telling you like here's the ones that you need to listen to. This is incredible stuff, and I think it's going to help us a lot during the bigger outbreaks. And yeah, this is another website that will make it public eventually. It's just not. We're slow. All right, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Caroline, Kent, Queen Anne's counties in Maryland. So this is for another 130,000 people. They did add a tornado possible tag on here. We've got some very strong winds coming over Chesapeake Beach, and those will be capable of producing maybe some spin up tornadoes as they get across Eastern Bay over towards Easton and Centerville. Yeah, so one of the big things that's going on today is these storms are strong. That's why we've got all these severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff. But also just they're packed full of moisture, man. We've got an incredible amount of moisture that we're dealing with here, and that is why we are live. I do think we're going to have a pretty significant flash flooding situation developing here, and hopefully we're able to get that message out in front of a bunch of people, because a lot of people have flooding on the mind. A lot of people are concerned about it. And rightfully so. I mean, we've got a pretty significant chance of flooding today. By the way, Essex, Hanover, King, and Queen counties, severe thunderstorm warning for 39 more minutes. Back to South Dakota, we've got a big severe thunderstorm warning here for Bennett, Jackson, and Millette counties. This is for 10,000 people. This is moving over towards Rosebud and Mission. We're talking about 60-mile-per-hour winds associated with that one. And then coming back down to our giant severe thunderstorm warning down here for Alamance, Chatham, Davidson, and 8 more counties in North Carolina. Essentially the entire area between Winston-Salem, Asheboro, and Henderson and Durham is under a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 38 minutes. Oh, this is from earlier. Funnel cloud up there in Huron County, Michigan. Thank you for sending this in. I heard the reports. I knew this was happening, but I haven't seen it. This is fascinating stuff. Little funnel cloud up there earlier. We did have a tornado warning associated with this. This was several hours ago, by the way. It's not happening now, but thank you so much for sending that in. Also in Greensboro, North Carolina, here's what the storms looked like before they started actually made their way in. You can see the big gnarly shelf cloud in the background there as the storm approached the Greensboro, North Carolina area earlier. And then this is what it looks like out there in Burlington, North Carolina. Thank you, Journey, for sending that in. And then some more gnarly looking clouds from the Gibsonville, Guilford County area. Kylie J, thank you for sending that in. Guys, if you want to help us out here, send us photos and videos over to pics@ryanhallyall.com. pics@ryanhallyall.com. Y'all, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Atlantic, Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem counties in New Jersey. So make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows over here. We've got 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds on the way. And it's just an absolute downpour and a half, 0.5 and 3/4 right now in Richmond. Honestly, I know I see you guys in the chat. I know we got a lot of people watching in Richmond. There's not a lot I can say other than it's raining, all right? And it's going to rain hard, and it's going to rain for a while, and that's why we've got a flash flood warning in effect right now. The good news is I do see some movement, okay? I at least see some movement. Like the storms are moving, and that's a good sign. Now, they're not moving as much in North Carolina. That's why we're quite concerned about what's going on down there. But the storms, it looks like they might get past Richmond here soon. But we do have the severe thunderstorm warning, or the flash flood warning in effect, and that's going to continue to be in effect for 3 hours. Mike Lockwood, thank you for the 5 gifted. And congrats to everybody that now has a membership. Here, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Newcastle, Chester, and Delaware counties in Delaware and Pennsylvania. This is going to be for 387,000 people up here around New Garden, Chadds Ford Township, Wilmington, and Birmingham Township. That's going to be for the next hour. All right, let's clear this. Let's see what this one looks like.
Residential 1060, 2105 Freeman Mill.
So this is what it looks like out there in Pennsylvania right now, honestly, looks pretty ominous out in front of this storm here. Yeah, that's a pretty. Once again, these storms are just full of moisture, man. Even this storm, the reflectivity doesn't even look that intense up here in Pennsylvania, but it is putting down the daggone rain, and of course, there's some strong winds out in front of it as well. This is all coming up towards Chester Heights. All right, so if you're in Chester Heights, get ready for a gully washer. All right, you guys know what a gully washer up here is? Whoa, did I forget how to talk? Yes, I did. You guys know what a gully washer is? A lot of times when we're live, we're covering Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and I think we're all quite familiar with gully washers. Do you guys know what gully washers are? If not, you're about to find out. You are about to find out. Here's what it looks like out in front of that storm that is coming out of Chesapeake Beach, and it's coming over towards Easton. So this is a storm, once again, that's approaching Easton in Maryland, and it's going to be packing some 60, maybe even closer to 70-mile-per-hour winds. I'm noticing with this storm that, at least on radar, it looks to me like we're probably seeing a couple of places that are seeing winds exceeding 70 miles per hour. And this is going to be hitting the Tillman's Island area first, and then over there towards Easton. So get ready for some significant winds out there. Yeah, honestly, there's a lot going on.
Needs to be shut down, and we can go ahead and take care of that until we can get SHP and county out here.
There is a lot going on right now. Yeah, so basically what I'm showing here on the stream, this is the storm that's coming out of the Annapolis area and moving towards Easton and Centerville. So this is essentially the severe thunderstorm warning for Caroline and Kent counties. If you're in Denton, get ready. This is what it's about to look like out there. And the stuff that you're hearing in the background, that's scanner traffic. We're going to dive into that a little bit more here in a moment. But first, let's check out this incredible video from DJ Twisted from York Haven, Pennsylvania, south of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Look at this.
Of that incredible shelf cloud as it's coming through. So we've got a pretty big storm approaching the Philadelphia area. And I think we're going to hear a lot about this over the next little bit. You'll see a big shelf cloud here soon in Chester, I believe. Here is a photo from Mooresville, North Carolina, as a big storm came in. Here's one from Greensboro, North Carolina. We've got some heavy rain and some flooding starting to happen out there from Joya. Thanks for sending that in, Joya. And then in Trinity, North Carolina, some more ominous clouds out there from Kara B. Pics at RyanHallYall.com or Twitter, y'all. Twitter. Yeah, honestly, the winds look pretty strong here in Tillman's Island. I think I'm saying that right. You guys are gonna, I'm gonna say stuff wrong quite a bit. So just know I don't mean any, disrespect or anything. I just sometimes say stuff wrong. By the way, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning plumb all the way out over here in Montana. Cascade, Fergus, Judith, Basin counties in Montana. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for the next hour. We've also continuing, we are continuing, to watch this big time severe thunderstorm warning over here between Raleigh and Winston-Salem in North Carolina. Now, what I'm noticing is these storms are not moving very fast. We've got another very significant round of rain about to move in to the Winston-Salem area over here in Guilford County. Let me just pull up some of the scanner stats again, because I think that this place is about to get hit pretty hard here. All right, so already in Guilford County, we've got multiple vehicles reported trapped in rising floodwaters, prompting rescue responses. One driver was confirmed to have escaped their vehicle, while another incident involved dispatchers unsure if occupants were still inside. So this is all happening right now in North Carolina.
Or whichever unit furthest away.
And it's what we're listening to in the
33 tonight.
background. Let's see here, Guilford County. Yeah, so we're listening to the Guilford County Sheriff, Greensboro Police Dispatch.
2233. Cancel. He just slid off the roadway. He just needs a record of pull.
Somebody just slid off the roadway. Also, we just got a report out of New Mexico. What's going on in New Mexico? All right, so there's some little pop-up storms, but y'all about heard
He's working on getting his on record, so we'll hang
in
out for a little while.
Alamogordo, power pole just fell down on a vehicle. So even with just this little shower down here, we've got damage being reported out here. So things are getting plumb wild in New Mexico. They're also getting plumb wild up here in South Dakota. Let me check in on this storm real quick. Bennett, Jackson, and Millette counties in South Dakota. We've got 44 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour winds expected over the next 44 minutes.
Sure.
And that, by the way, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning out here for Cody, Nebraska. So we are watching the storms arrive in Delaware and Maryland right now.
1234.
I'm trying to see if I can't find you any better views of what's going on out here.
We respond to 15 units.
We've lost a couple of the feeds that I was watching, so I'm going to try to replace those real quick.
4701 West Market Street.
Yeah, the strongest winds that I'm seeing right now are, honestly, it's coming out of the storm that's coming out of Annapolis, moving towards Easton. That's what we're watching right here. We've got some very strong winds coming into the Tillman Islands area in Maryland.
1122, still signal 50.
Duration.
Simple. $12.31, signal 50.
Unfortunately, we've got no camera coverage really in North Carolina, and that's where the most significant stuff is happening right now. North Carolina, that's where all the flooding is breaking out, and that's where our biggest severe thunderstorm warning is. But we don't have those live traffic cameras down there like we do in Virginia and Maryland. And yeah, I think there is traffic cameras, but they're like pictures. And what am I going to do with a picture of a raindrop? You know what I'm saying?
All cars, special attention, District 3, 1043. We have a 1050 PI vehicle overturn at the intersection of I-85 North and Southland Road. I redispatched that one.
Well, yeah, what am I supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying?
And forward advise on code 10.
You guys know.
Well, I got it. Go ahead with further if you got it.
I do have this 1050 PD.
Yeah, it's about to get pretty intense out here on the bridge to Stevensville. If it hasn't gotten intense yet on the part of the bridge that you're familiar with, it's about to. I'm looking at several different things here. So this is what it looks like underneath the storm. Okay. This is what it looks like underneath. And then if you want to be out in front of it, this is what it looks like as it comes towards you. You can see the shelf cloud there. And this is going to be what we see probably for the vast majority of people in Maryland over the next little bit. So if you're just now tuning in, we've got a significant situation setting up here across portions of Maryland and Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We got a big storm coming into Philadelphia right now that I'm trying to keep an eye on as well. But our main problem that we're having, at least in the short term, is going to be the significant, I would say, flash flooding that we're about to see in North Carolina. And honestly, we're not about to see it. We are seeing it. We're seeing it right now. It's already happening.
Yeah.
A huge shout out to Susan. Thank you for the very generous super chat. Thank you, Susan. All right. If you're just now tuning in, we are covering a bunch of different storms here. I'm trying my best to keep up with the traffic cameras, but honestly, there's about 8 million of them getting hit, and about only 3 of them are showing anything worth showing. The main thing that I want to get across here, the big point that I want to drive home, is that after the winds die down, everybody needs to keep their guard up, especially down here in North Carolina, where we've got significant flooding going on right now. A vehicle is reported to be in floodwater on Interstate 840 at mile marker 18. The status of the occupants is unknown, prompting a significant emergency response. So that was in Guilford County earlier. We've also had several other concerning transmissions kind of heard in Guilford County since then. Also, we just had a report come through from the Guilford Metro Fire. Attention to all stations and units in the field. We're going to be switching to storm plan at this time. So whatever storm plan means for that community, they're switching into storm plan right now in Guilford County, North Carolina. So once again, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We've got strong damaging winds happening in a lot of different places. But one of the big things that we need to remember here is that we're about to experience a quite significant flash flood situation in the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and Asheboro area. If it's not already flooding where you are there's more rain on the way, and the flooding is about to potentially get worse. Okay, so get ready for that. We're already in storm plan, and things are going to just continue to go up from here. We were also getting multiple reports of downed trees and power poles across several counties due to high winds from thunderstorms and a sandstorm that's apparently happening in New Mexico right now, which is plumb wild.
OD490, signal 1.
All right, so we just heard from the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. We're up on US 29 and NC 150. There's a vehicle in floodwater at the moment. The person just got out of the vehicle. We advise that the water is rising pretty deeply into the vehicle. So that was a notable transmission that it picked out there. So do we have anybody watching in Greensboro? How is it going out there? More photos from Louisa County, Virginia. Earlier, you guys were under some sort of warning. And this must be what it looked like down there. Wow, this is a nice sail. You can see the whole daggone thing. Thank you, Marissa, for sending this in. Beautiful photos. This is what it looked like in Chesterfield, Virginia earlier from Nathan. And this is from Nicole, also in Huron County, Michigan. Look at this, another view of the noodle. We've got several angles of this elusive noodle that we had earlier in Huron County here. Honestly, I didn't know that there were any pictures of it out there. I saw the report come through, but I didn't know that there. We should have been live earlier, daggone it. Another awesome view of a distant thunderstorm from Mark K in Grand Haven, Michigan. I know we had some big storms up there earlier too. Yeah, I probably should have went live earlier. Filedale, Virginia, big time tree down over there. This is from Bob T. Thank you so much, Bob T, for sending this in.
11:30.
This is the kind of stuff that we could probably expect in Delaware over the next little bit as the strong line of storms approaches you. It's what we're watching above my head, and it's what we're going to continue to watch over the next little bit. But yeah, big time tree down there. And then here's a nice view of the storm coming into Severna Park, Maryland earlier. So if you guys want to send in photos and videos and cool stuff like that, you can do that over there on pics@ryanhallyall.com. pics@ryanhallyall.com. Yep, Easton and Denton, it's coming towards you next. I wonder if we can see it yet over here. Yeah, I don't know if we can see it quite just yet. I'm just gonna pull up everything over here. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, I'm not seeing
11:31 signal 50.
much of anything.
13:39 signal 50.
But I'll keep watching it. Yeah, there's lots of wind and rain visible. But what I want to see is the storm coming in. I want to see the shelf cloud before it hits. You know what I'm saying?
(31:22) single vehicle accident. 2 people inside. They're both free. Or 10-12 for EMS.
So if you're just now tuning in, we're tracking storms all across the Delaware area, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. We've got a pretty significant storm coming into Philadelphia. And honestly, our greatest area of interest right now is North Carolina, because we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the Durham area. In Burlington up to Henderson for 60 mile per hour winds. But we've also got this flash flood warning over here with 800,000 people in it for the next 3 hours. Considerable damage threat, and we've already heard just so many different stories about the flooding that's already happening there. What's about to happen, though, is another big round of rain is coming in, so I'm concerned about what might happen in the near future here. So get ready in High Point, Winston-Salem, and Greensboro for another round of torrential rainfall that could lead to significant flash flooding. Susan, thanks for the 10 gifted. Susan, thank you for the gifted memberships. Here's what it looks like out there in Chester, Maryland, as the strong winds move in, slowly but surely.
114.
It's getting a little windy out there.
Everything signal 50. If you can change nature to get 96 subject, that'll be good.
10-4.
Okay, so this is what it looked like in North Carolina on Sunday. So this area has already been hit hard by storms and flooding. You can see some of the aftermath there.
1553,
One of the reasons why I'm so concerned about this area is because of this, right? We already had the significant flooding. The ground is already super saturated. And actually, the science behind what causes flooding is, there's more of a threat for flooding today than there was even on Sunday. So if we end up seeing one of these storms or a couple of these storms, kind of sit over the same areas for a long time today, we are going to see more of this. And I'm just hoping that doesn't happen, but we'll be here for you if it does. And, in real time, as those reports start coming in, we'll be able to tell you what's going on out there. In Maryland, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Callaway, Lexington Park. That's for Calvert and St. Mary's in Maryland. What does it look like out there? It looks about like this. About what you'd expect it to look like in a severe thunderstorm. Pertinent here. So get ready for potentially up to 60-mile-per-hour winds here as the storm gets closer and moves in. How are we doing in Philadelphia? Philadelphia, we've got a strong storm over here as well. Another thing that I'm noticing is probably it's going to be the flooding. That's going to be the main thing here. Especially, I'm seeing a pretty good potential right in this area. That's where most of the training is happening, and we're going to continue to see heavy rain here for the next hour. So Beaver Valley over to Chester, get ready for some potential significant flooding, actually. Try to find where some of the heaviest rain's happening right now. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And like everything that's in a good spot is without power, it seems. Here's what it looks like in Newcastle, Delaware, as the rain's coming down. Yeah, so it doesn't look like much of a severe thunderstorm situation coming into Philadelphia. I'm most concerned about the flooding. Oh, yeah, that worked out great, Jared. And here's a stream or tributary.
In the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne, They had to carry away that brave young man. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan died there in the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne. Looking back, it doesn't seem so long ago. He was bigger than life, God rest his soul. Why he died that day is hard to understand. Right there in the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne. So tip your hat to the cowboy every once in a while, and take time to remember that cowboy smile. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan died there in the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne. Old buckles on a shelf, collecting dust. Still his memory shines inside of all of us. Some miss their hero, some miss their friend. His mom and daddy long to see their little boy again. So tip your hat to the cowboy every once in a while, take time to remember that cowboy smile. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan died there in the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne. In the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne. They had to carry away that brave young man. If you're washed in the blood, someday you'll see him again. But it won't be in the rain, in the mud, in July and Cheyenne.